Hey guys, this is App Reviewer. Today we'll be taking a look at the Mugen Power 4600 mAh extended battery and back cover for the Samsung Galaxy S3. Now I know a lot of Galaxy S3 users, particularly the heavy power users, are having a lot of difficulty making it through a day with their Galaxy S3 stock battery, so this is a good alternative to look at. Now the battery and back cover costs $88, and in all my Mugen Power videos I always get comments of people saying that it's overpriced, it's way too expensive, and honestly I do think that's true. I think they're very highly priced, but you do get a high quality product that definitely works. So let's crack on open into the packaging and I'll show you the two things that you get. So pretty simple packaging. Open it up and you'll find first of all the back cover, which is a glossy back cover, so it mimics the Galaxy S3's. This one is white right here, but you can also pick it up in a blue model. It also has a kickstand, and if you've seen my Galaxy Nexus review, you'll see that my kickstand on that was terrible. It was loose, it felt pretty bad, but this one is a much better revision on it, so it actually stays in place due to this little hinge right here. So it's a much better kickstand, and I'm glad they included it and remedied that issue. And then you'll also get the battery itself, which as I mentioned is rated at 4600 mAh battery. So what we'll do is just pop this on the Galaxy S3 and I'll give you a quick look around and explain a little bit more about it. So the installation is pretty simple and straightforward as you'd expect. Simply remove the back cover and stock battery from your Galaxy S3 and replace it with the Mugen Power one. So right off the bat, most people will notice how much thicker it is. You can see it's about 2.5 times thicker. And in all my Mugen Power videos, just like when it comes to pricing, everyone states, oh my god, this is so horrendous. Why would anyone buy that? I'd rather carry a second battery. Once again, this is for a specific market of people that don't care about the thickness of it. And if you do care, at least you don't care as much as to hate it, because it is giving you incredible battery life. So it is a glossy back, as I mentioned, so it will pick up some scratches and fingerprints. I've used it for about a month and I don't see many fingerprints collecting, but I do see some scuffing around the sides. You can see on the back you got some perfect cutouts for your camera, flash, and speaker. They work fine, and they're actually much better protected than the naked Galaxy S3 because they are deeply recessed in there, so that adds a little bit more protection. You have this chrome kickstand right here, which is very nifty. Now, as I mentioned in the past, my Galaxy Nexus one was shit, to be honest. It was really flimsy. It popped out at times, and this one, as you can see, it stays in there very nicely due to that little hinge right here. And as you can see, you can place it at a nice angle to watch movies if you so want to. On the front, obviously nothing because the battery covers the back. Bottom, you can see micro USB charger and microphone are fine. On the right hand side, you can still access your power button. Up top, you can see your headphone jack is a little bit recessed, but no problems with it whatsoever. You can also access your volume rocker. And up here is a little bit of a hinge that you can use to pop off the back cover. I don't really use it that way because it's much tougher to remove it. What I do is I pop it back and I slide my nail through the side. So it's a little bit more of a hassle, but then it'll pop out. So I know there are a few misconceptions about extended battery cases of this size because people think they're either going to be too heavy or too uncomfortable to hold. Now, it is much heavier than the naked Galaxy S3, so you do definitely notice a much heavier feel, so your hand gets a little bit tired more quickly, but it's not terrible, to be honest, and that's why you have the included kickstand, because in any case, if it feels too heavy in your hand, you can place it down on a table. It is a little bit annoying, but you really can't do much. In terms of the overall feel, it is very comfortable to hold because it has some nice rounded edges on it, so it doesn't really feel tacky at all. It's nice, comfortable, so even though the weight is too heavy, it isn't too bad overall, so it'll still fit in your pocket, and there's no real major issues or complaints from my side. So now that we've talked about the overall aesthetics, design, and the feel of the hard shell cover that comes to replace the stock battery cover, I do want to mention it's probably the most important part of the review, and that's what's on the inside, the battery. This is basically the main reason why you get the Mugen Power extended battery, is just because you want better battery life. I know a ton of people complain that the stock battery doesn't get them through a day, so if you do want to get through a day or even more, this is probably the way to go. Now, with all my battery tests, I run a battery drain test, and what that means is basically I'll have full brightness on, I'll turn on GPS and navigation, and also Bluetooth. And I try to drain the battery as fast as possible with a timer next to it. So with those conditions on, I tried it on the stock battery and on the extended battery. Now, obviously, some people may say, oh, that's not a real condition, you know, you don't do that on a daily basis, but it's the best I can do to get a standardized result, basically an even result between the two batteries. So the stock battery actually got 3 hours and 12 minutes, and in a perfect world, the extended battery should have gotten about 6 hours and 30 minutes, but it actually got 5 hours and 47 minutes. While it came short of the overall result it should have had in theory, it's not a bad overall performance, to be honest. Now, that's about 90% of what I expected, which is, it's decent, it's okay, but it's probably not worth the $88. If you can find this battery at a discounted price, I definitely recommend it. I think it's fantastic. It definitely gets the job done, but it's hard to recommend it at that $90 price point, and a lot of people will agree with me. Some people mentioned you can also get 2 of these batteries and just swap them out. There's a bunch of other alternatives out there, which is the beauty of being a case reviewer and accessory reviewer. There's always an alternative for my viewers. But as I mentioned, even though it's very expensive, I still recommend it if you can afford it. That's basically what I'm going to say. If you can afford it, or if you don't mind spending the money, it's a great product and you won't be disappointed. But it's definitely not for most people. Most people don't have battery life issues, and most people can't afford something that's 90 bucks and you'll only use a few times when you go on vacation, because I don't really see myself using this as a daily device just because it's way too thick. Even though you can get around with it, I just don't want to get around with it. So I'd like to thank the folks over at Mugen Power sending out for reviewing purposes. Overall, it gets 2 thumbs up from me if you can afford it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'm going to have a big giveaway coming soon. I've got about, 20 cases lying around here, so I do want to give those out to you guys just to thank you for all the help and support you've been giving me. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more.